Good evening, everyone. My name is Kayla Nakasa, and I'll be presenting my speech of the Persuasive speech, Adult Crimes and Adult Consequences, and why teens should be tried for adult charges. Imagine for this for a moment. You're going about your normal day, maybe getting coffee or on your way to work, and you see a news alert. So, a teenager has committed a crime, and someone lost a family, or a son or a daughter. And then you hear the next part. The offender will only spend about a few years in the juvenile detention. Now pause and ask yourself, does that feel like justice? Justice is supposed to protect victims and keep communities safe. But what happens when the system seems to focus more on the person who committed the crime than the people who were hurt? That question is why this topic matters. Today I want to talk about why some teenagers who commit crimes should be tried as adults. Not every teen, not every mistake, but some crimes are so severe that they require adult level consequences. Now let's start with the problem. The juvenile system was created with good intentions. It focused on rehabilitation instead of punishment. For many cases, that makes sense. Teenagers are still developing and many can change. But when it comes to violent crimes and murder, rape, or armed robbery, the juvenile system can fall apart. For victims and their families, it often feels like justice isn't served. Imagine losing a loved one only to find the person responsible may be released while they're still young. Families often feel ignored, like the system values the future of the offender more than the life that was taken. Another issue is fairness. A serious crime causes the same harm no matter who commits it. If an adult commits murder, society agrees that the punishment should match the severity of the act. But when a teenager commits the same crime, the consequences are often a fair light. Doesn't make sense, right? Accountability should be based on seriousness of the crime, not just how old the offender is. When the consequences doesn't match the harm caused, it can make violent actions seem less serious than they are. Also, another issue is public safety. When a teenager commits a crime, there's a real risk that they could harm a person, family, community, schools, etc. Stronger consequences can help protect communities by keeping dangerous individuals off the streets. This isn't about revenge, it's about prevention. If teens know that extreme violence can lead to adult charges, it may some think twice before doing it. I bet you're wondering, what's the solution for it? Solution is a case-by-case adult for serious crimes. Not all teens should be tried as adults, but judges should have the ability to look closely at each case the crime committed. For example, the teen history and the level of danger they pose. When the teens are tried as adults in extreme cases, it shows their actions truly matter. Many offenders report that facing adult court made them realize the seriousness of what they had done in a way a juvenile could never have did. Most importantly, case-by-case decisions creates balance. For some offenders who remorse and potential for change may stay in juvenile court and receive rehabilitation. But repeat offenders who commit crimes violence can handle an adult court to protect the public. Now let's look at what happens when the balance is used. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, over the past 2 decades, the number of juveniles in adult jails have dropped significantly. In 2008, over 10,000 juveniles were held in adult facility. By 2021, the number dropped to around 2,300. And as you can see here, I can share screen, and you can see all the graphs. This shows that the adult trials are not being overused, but they're becoming more selective. Seriousness consequences in certain cases, trying teens as adults can protect communities and honor victims. Yes, teenagers are still growing and their brains are still developing, but that doesn't mean extreme violence should be excused. Judges should be trusted to evaluate each case to decide what truly serves justice. Because real justice protects the innocent, honors victims, and hold offenders accountability. no matter their age. Teenagers deserve a second chance and to grow and to change. But when they make adult choices, that causes irreversible harm and they must face adult consequences. Now, this concludes my speech.